After having a great stretch to end the season, the Rockets look to be one of the surprising breakout teams heading into next season. They made a legitimate push to be in the play-in tournament in March and April. After a great season by Alperen Sengun and the resurgence of Jalen Green, the Rockets have some optimism heading into next season. With the addition of Reed Sheppard in the draft, the Rockets have the second best young core in the league and could take a thunder-like leap next year. I'll be talking about their core six and their expectations projecting into next season. But before we get into that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Alperen Sengun had an all-star level season in his third year. He was one of the most improved players in the NBA, finishing third in the race. He upped his scoring to 21.6 points per game, while keeping his efficiency the same on more shots. He continues to grow as a defender and a rebounder, while his special passing ability shines through. He's such a talented passer at the big man position, he is baby Jokic. He was in contention for his first All-Star appearance but just missed out and ended the season on an injury. However, heading into next year, I expect Sengun to truly make a significant push to be an All-Star in the stacked West. He will continue to grow in his role to be the offensive hub for this Rockets team heading into the future and will grow into a superstar. He can be the best player on the Rockets for years to come as he is just 21. I expect him to cement himself as a superstar next year, leading this Rockets team to be a top 6 seed. Jalen Green was having a rough season with him scoring less and being less efficient. However, during the months of March and April, Green had gone on a stretch of 25 games playing out of his mind. Ankle breakers, crazy posters, and clutch shots were the story for the end of the season for Green. Many fans, including myself, believe that Green can carry this through into next season, becoming one of the best young stars in the league. He is one of the most electrifying players in the league with his vertical athleticism and flashy plays. However, he can contribute to winning as shown in last year's stretch. I wouldn't be shocked if Green took the leap to be this team's leading scorer at just 25 points per game next season. I also expect him to take a leap into being an all-star as well. Him and Sengun can form one of the best young duos in the league and one of the best duos in the West. At just 22 years old, Jalen Green has revived his career and has the time and potential to grow into a superstar. Amen Thompson had a great rookie year, making the all-rookie team. He had a slow start to the season but really picked it up along the way. Amen showed that he can be a very versatile player for the Rockets. He even got a triple-double in his last game. He's a great rebounder, does all the little things correctly, and is a good playmaker as well. However, similar to his brother, he is also a great defender. He's the Rockets' Swiss Army knife for the future, as he is shown to be a contributor in every way, every game. The only thing that is missing from his game is being a reliable three-point shooter, as he shot an abysmal 13.8% from 3. If he is able to develop a reliable three-point shot, he'll be one of the most valuable role players in the league. He still has a lot of potential to tap into and he can continue to grow as a playmaker and a passer, and even as a defender. At just 21 years old, he can be one of the best role players in the league starting next season. Reed Sheppard brings a level of shooting to the Rockets that is much needed. He fits nicely alongside Amen Thompson as they cover each other's weaknesses very nicely. He shot an unbelievable 52% from 3 and is one of the best shooting prospects ever. Catching outlet passes from Thompson or post passes from Sengun, he can be a deadly knockdown shooter early into his career. Outside of his shooting ability, he can play make and find the ball in passing lanes on defense. But by being behind Van Fleet, he can learn a lot to potentially being the point guard of this team. Sheppard will be a day one contributor as a spot-up shooter and a playmaker, but he has the potential to grow into a long-term point guard for this team. On top of that, he has that Kentucky guard track record to help his case. Jabari Smith is coming off his second year in the league with a solid season. However, he does feel like the odd man out. He was a top 3 pick just 2 years ago, yet he's forgotten when people discuss the Rockets' young core. Maybe it's due to him not showing that star potential that was promised prior to the draft, but he's been solid, consistent, and durable for the Rockets in his 2 seasons. He's looked to take a leap heading into his last season after Summer League, but that never actualized. However, with his second year under Ime and a better team around him, I expect him to improve, becoming a good stretch 4 or 5 for this team that can provide athleticism next to Sengun. Hopefully this year he can solidify his place on the team similar to Jalen Green and really show off his star potential as a versatile 4 that can stretch the floor. Cam Whitmore was considered the steal of the draft in the first round last year. After a very solid rookie year where he showed promise as a scorer, he can be this team's 6th man for the future. He missed half his rookie year, but when he was playing, his presence and impact was felt. Cam Whitmore can be one of the best spark plug bench scorers next season, and he has the potential to develop as a defender with his size. Him and Nassar could be 2 3-and-D guys for the Rockets team, all fitting together nicely. Don't be surprised when Cam becomes one of the best bench players in the league next season. The Rockets also just traded for AJ Griffin. AJ was a 16th pick in the 2022 draft, and the Hawks essentially just gave him away. He had shown great promise in his rookie year, but after an injury last season, the Hawks decided it was time to trade him. The Rockets now have a chance at developing Griffin into a great 3-and-D player off the bench. AJ is another great shooter, and at just 20 he will develop into a nice player for the Rockets. Tari Eason is another great young wing that can provide a little bit of everything off the bench. Veterans like Reggie Bullock and Jeff Green provide mentorship and shooting for these young players. Fred VanVleet comes with great championship experience and mentorship that is needed to our young team. He provides shooting, scoring, and playmaking for all these young players. Dillon Brooks provides the defensive mentality and intensity and helps instill confidence for the whole team. The Rockets have a great supporting cast around their core six to compete for a playoff spot next season. With Ime Udoka being one of the best coaches in the league manning it all, the Rockets have turned their franchise around in just 2 years. From being an unserious bottom feeder to being a legit playoff threat with such a young team, they are primed to stay relevant for the next half decade. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.